You're watching the only local news at 5:30. Fox 4 News starts now.
Hello and good evening. I'm Steve Eager. First on Fox 4 News at 5:30 tonight. Nearly 3 months after a Grapevine police officer shot and killed a Mexican national along a highway in Euless, a Tarrant County grand jury decided the officer was protecting himself and should not face criminal charges. He shot and killed 31-year-old Ruben Garcia Villalpando, and it was all caught on dash cam, almost all of it. And that dash cam video was a big part of the evidence the grand jury used to decide the case. Fox 4's Phil Alvarado is at the Grapevine Police Department right now with more of that video. Phil?
Well, Steve, everyone has their idea of what they see in that dash cam video. Certainly they do here at the Grapevine Police Department and the attorney for the officer. But as you said, it was the key piece of evidence considered by that Tarrant County grand jury that decided not to indict Officer Robert Clark.
Grapevine officer Robert Clark responds to a commercial alarm call. He sees a parked car. Clark tells dispatch the driver leaves when he sees his police lights.
In pursuit.
The high-speed chase winds in and out of traffic on Highway 121 for 2.5 minutes. At times, Ruben Garcia Villalpando is driving on the shoulder. He takes the Cheeksbarger exit and pulls over. Clark's first order is for Villalpando to show his hands.
The whole thing was threatening behavior. He would not follow the commands of the officer. This was a felony stop. This was not a traffic stop.
Clark's commands are punctuated with expletives as Villalpando starts to leave his car.
Keep your hands out the window! Hey, stay right there!
Eventually, Villalpando leaves his car, first with his hands up and then on his head. Officer Clark is describing this as he waits for backup.
He's got his hands on his head. I got him at gunpoint. So he kept trying to reach him something. He's obeying my commands right now.
Villalpando keeps moving forward despite commands to stop. He's talking to the officer, and as the Grapevine police chief points out, some of the communication is in English.
Mr. Villalpando clearly responded to some commands in English, and when he spoke, he did so in English.
Some of what Villalpando says is hard to hear because of the traffic zipping only a few feet away. Then Clark makes an urgent plea to dispatch.
Hey, you might want to step it up and say and kill me.
Villalpando keeps walking toward the officer and covers his eyes. Clark is cursing and screaming for him to stop as Villalpando steps out of view of the dash camera.
Get to the back of the car!
Clark's attorney says Clark had no choice but to fire.
Not only was he confronted with him coming towards him, but where he had stopped the vehicle and where the officer was standing, his back was to oncoming traffic. They were getting off on that off-ramp, and just one push and he would have been in the middle of the traffic too.
An autopsy report showed that Villalpando was intoxicated when he died. We understand that Officer Clark has been on desk duty since this happened, but his attorney says that if it's possible, he wants to go back onto patrol. Steve?
Okay, Phil Alvarado live at Grapevine. Thank you.